There is a place on our planet that defies easy explanation. It is a shadowy corner of the vast Atlantic Ocean, a place where the rules of our world seem to bend and sometimes break entirely. Sailors and pilots have given it many names, but it is most famously known as the Bermuda Triangle. Its boundaries are not marked on any official map, yet they are etched into the minds of all who have heard its chilling tales. The area forms a rough triangle: Bermuda, Miami, Puerto Rico. Within this expanse of water, countless ships' aircraft have vanished without a trace, leaving behind nothing but silence and questions that echo through the decades. It is a region of immense beauty, turquoise waters and clear blue skies, yet this beauty masks a sinister reputation. What is it about this specific patch of ocean that captures our imagination so completely? Perhaps it is the sheer number of disappearances. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle did not begin in the 20th century. Its roots stretch back much further, into the age of sail when the sea was a far more perilous and mysterious place. Even Christopher Columbus, on his first voyage to the New World in 1492, recorded strange occurrences within this very region. He wrote in his log about a great flame of fire crashing into the sea one night. On another occasion, his compass needle behaved erratically, spinning wildly without reason. His crew was terrified, believing they had sailed into a cursed part of the world where the laws of nature no longer applied. One of the earliest and most haunting stories is that of the Rosalie, a French vessel found adrift in 1840. The ship was discovered with its sails fully set, its cargo intact, and everything in perfect order, yet not a single soul was on board. Another chilling case from this era is the disappearance of the Atalanta, a British training ship that vanished in 1880. With 290 cadets and officers aboard, the ship departed from Bermuda, bound for England, and sailed directly into the heart of the mystery. It was never heard from again. A massive search was launched, but not a single piece of wreckage, not one body, was ever recovered. The loss was a national tragedy in Britain, and speculation ran wild. Was it a sudden, violent storm, a mutiny, or something else, something far stranger? The complete absence of evidence left the door open to all manner of dark possibilities, cementing the area's reputation for swallowing ships whole. These early incidents laid the foundation for the legend that would later explode into global consciousness. Of all the vanishings attributed to the Bermuda Triangle, none is more famous or more baffling than the disappearance of Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 United States Navy Avenger torpedo bombers took off from Fort Lauderdale, Florida for a routine training exercise. It was a clear day, and the 14 men aboard the planes were all experienced airmen. The flight plan was simple. They were to fly east, conduct bombing runs over a shoal, then return to base. They were supposed to be gone for only a few hours. They never came back. The flight, known by its call sign Flight 19, flew into the triangle and vanished from the face of the earth. What makes this case so profoundly disturbing are the radio transmissions picked up from the flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor. Instead of a smooth report, his voice was filled with confusion and anxiety. He reported compasses malfunctioning. He couldn't see land. He was completely lost. "Everything is wrong. Strange," he said. "We can't be sure of any direction. Even the ocean doesn't look as it should." The control tower tried to guide them back. The pilots seemed disoriented, unable to determine if they were over the Atlantic or the Gulf of Mexico. Their final transmissions were faint and garbled, drowned out by static before they fell silent forever. The mystery deepened when a rescue plane was sent to search. A Martin Mariner flying boat, carrying a crew of 13 men, took off that same evening to scour the area. Within minutes, the rescue plane disappeared from radar. Later, a ship reported seeing a massive explosion in the sky at the exact time and location where the Mariner would have been. It was assumed the plane exploded mid-air, but no definitive wreckage was ever found. In a single afternoon, 6 aircraft and 27 men had been swallowed by the triangle. The official Navy report could offer no explanation. After a massive, fruitless search, the incident was closed with the words, "Cause unknown." How could 5 military planes and a 6th sent to rescue them all disappear in a matter of hours? Long before Flight 19 vanished from the skies, a giant of the sea met a similar fate, creating one of the greatest maritime mysteries in United States Navy history. The USS Cyclops, a massive collier ship over 540 feet long, was a true titan of its time. In March 1918, during the height of World War I, the ship was sailing from Brazil to Baltimore, carrying a heavy cargo of manganese ore and 306 crew members and passengers. After a brief unscheduled stop in Barbados, the Cyclops steamed northward into the Bermuda Triangle. It was last sighted on March 4th and then, without warning or a single SOS message, it was gone. The disappearance baffled naval authorities. This was not a small vessel that could be easily capsized by a rogue wave. It was a modern, powerful ship equipped with a radio, yet no distress call was ever logged. An extensive Atlantic search turned up absolutely nothing. No wreckage, no lifeboats, not even a single floating piece of debris. It was as if the 19,000-ton ship and all 306 aboard had been erased. Investigators could only speculate on what might have happened. One theory: heavy ore load caused structural failure and the ship broke apart, sinking so fast there was no time to send for help. Another: sunk by a German submarine, though Germany denied any knowledge even after the war. President Woodrow Wilson said, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." The lack of evidence invited imaginative and sinister explanations. USS Proteus and USS Nereus both vanished similarly in 1941. This pattern deepened the enigma, pointing to an unknown regional factor. The Cyclops remains a ghost story of the sea, a hulking vessel that sailed into a fog of mystery and never returned. When conventional explanations fail, the human mind naturally turns to more extraordinary possibilities. The Bermuda Triangle, with its long list of inexplicable vanishings, has become fertile ground for fringe theories. One of the most popular ideas is extraterrestrial visitors hunting in the triangle. Proponents claim aliens abduct ships, planes, people, using tech that leaves no trace. Another theory points to the lost city of Atlantis beneath the sea. Believers say Atlanteans left behind energy crystals and ancient machinery still active. A third idea is a dimensional portal or rift in spacetime. The triangle might be a spot where dimensions are unusually thin. Ships and planes could be transported to another time, another place, another reality entirely. Occasional reports of electronic fog and strange swirling clouds are cited as visual proof. These theories, though dismissed by skeptics, offer a sense of order. They provide a narrative, a reason for the losses. Whether it's aliens, Atlantean technology, or a hole in the universe, these ideas answer a deep human need. Supernatural theories turn the triangle from random tragedy into active mystery. They keep the legend alive, fueling our sense of wonder and fear. While tales of lost cities capture the imagination, scientists and investigators have worked for decades to find more grounded explanations for the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. They argue that the legend is a collection of unrelated incidents that have been sensationalized and woven together into a manufactured myth. From a scientific perspective, there is no single overarching force at work. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the most heavily trafficked areas of the ocean, so it is statistically unsurprising that a higher number of incidents would occur there. One of the most powerful scientific explanations is the region's extreme and unpredictable weather. The area is known as Hurricane Alley for a reason. It is prone to sudden, violent thunderstorms that can form with little warning. More menacingly, the Gulf Stream, a powerful ocean current, flows through the triangle. Its swift currents can create massive rogue waves, capable of swamping even large ships in an instant. These currents can also quickly disperse any wreckage, scattering it over a vast area and carrying it far from the site of a disaster. The ocean floor in this region is also incredibly deep, with some trenches plunging miles down, making the recovery of sunken vessels nearly impossible. Another key scientific theory involves the presence of large deposits of methane hydrates on the seabed. If a pocket of this gas were to suddenly erupt from the ocean floor, it would create a massive plume of gas bubbles, drastically reducing the density of the water above it. Any ship caught in such a plume would lose all buoyancy and sink like a stone, plunging to the bottom in seconds without any time to send a distress call. Similarly, if a large cloud of methane gas were released into the atmosphere, it could be ignited by an airplane's engine, causing a catastrophic explosion. Finally, the most common factor in many disappearances is simple human error. In the case of Flight 19, for example, the flight leader, Lieutenant Taylor, had a history of getting lost. It is plausible that he became disoriented, made a series of bad navigational decisions, and led his patrol far out into the open ocean until they ran out of fuel. Many other incidents, when carefully examined, reveal pilots or captains who were inexperienced, fatigued, or who made poor judgments in the face of challenging conditions. A closer look at the legend of the Bermuda Triangle reveals many famous stories that were embellished and distorted. The myth was popularized by mid-20th century writers who played fast and loose with facts to make a better story. Many vessels and planes were not in the triangle when lost. Others disappeared during horrific storms, a detail often omitted by sensational accounts. Let's revisit Flight 19. Radio transmissions were confusing, but context is often left out. It was not a clear day. Weather reports showed deterioration, high winds, and intermittent rain. Lieutenant Taylor thought he was over the Florida Keys. He was actually over the Bahamas. He flew north thinking he'd reach Florida but led the squadron farther into the Atlantic. Many other famous cases crumble under scrutiny. Mary Celeste, often linked to the triangle, was found abandoned off Portugal in 1872, thousands of miles away. VA Fog vanished in 1972, wreckage was found later, and the Coast Guard concluded an explosion during cargo tank cleaning. Countless stories, when investigated, are mundane: storms, mechanical failures, navigation error, other explainable causes. The U.S. Coast Guard does not recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a specific hazard. They say incidents are no more strange or numerous than in other busy ocean areas. They attribute losses to powerful, unpredictable forces of nature and human fallibility. The legend persists because the myth is more exciting than the often sobering truth. The danger exists more in our minds than on the waves or in the sky. Beyond the sensational myths and scientific debunking, there are genuinely surprising facts about the Bermuda Triangle. One of the most intriguing is its unique magnetic properties. The triangle is one of only two places on Earth, the Bermuda Triangle and another near Japan, where a compass can point to true north instead of magnetic north. This is called magnetic variation. It can confuse navigators. GPS has reduced the problem, but for decades it caused real, documented navigational errors. Another surprising aspect is the complex underwater topography. The ocean floor here is anything but flat. The Puerto Rico Trench, over 27,000 feet deep, along with seamounts and plateaus, makes finding wreckage extremely difficult. A downed craft can slide into a deep canyon or rest on a remote underwater peak, hidden from sonar and search crews. The sea hides its secrets well. Vincent Gaddis coined the term Bermuda Triangle in a 1964 magazine article, drawing on paranormal and Fortean journalism. He gave the mystery a catchy name, packaging many stories into one terrifying concept. Despite its reputation, the Bermuda Triangle is a heavily traveled corridor. Thousands of cruise ships, cargo vessels, private yachts, and aircraft pass through safely. Most trips finish without incident. The reality, a busy, mostly safe sea and sky. The danger exists more in our minds than on the waves or in the sky. The legend is media, myth, and geography intertwined. In an age of satellite imagery, GPS tracking, and instant global communication, it seems that there are few mysteries left in the world. We have mapped the highest mountains and the deepest oceans, explained the weather with complex models, and understood the universe with powerful telescopes. Yet the Bermuda Triangle endures. It remains a stubborn pocket of the unknown, a place that resists our attempts to fully explain and tame it. It is a reminder that despite all our technology and knowledge, we are not entirely masters of our world. This is precisely why it continues to hold such a powerful grip on our collective imagination. For the skeptic, it is a lesson in critical thinking and the power of myth. For the believer, it is proof that there are forces beyond our comprehension. For the storyteller, it is an endless source of thrilling and terrifying tales. The mystery is a blank canvas onto which we can project our greatest fears and our wildest hopes. It also speaks to the raw, untamable power of nature. A rogue wave, a sudden storm, a mechanical failure can still spell doom. The triangle personifies this conflict between humanity and the natural world. It is a place where nature still holds the upper hand, where the sea can, in an instant, reclaim what is hers, leaving no explanation behind. This element of primal fear is a key ingredient in its enduring appeal. Ultimately, we are drawn to the Bermuda Triangle because we are a species driven by curiosity. We are explorers and problem solvers, and a riddle as profound as the triangle is impossible to ignore. We will likely never stop searching for answers, whether they lie in scientific data, historical records, or the depths of our own imagination. As long as there are unexplained events and parts of our world that remain hidden from view, we will continue to look toward that mysterious patch of ocean, wondering what secrets it still holds beneath its beautiful and terrifying surface.